Well, welcome to another McHenry High School PE cognitive lesson. We're talking today a little bit about the importance of goals and goal setting. You know, as teachers and coaches, we many times often challenge students to think about their own goals and give assignments or give different things where you ask you to write down goals. But we were talking this year about, we don't know that we've ever in PE actually given a lesson on how to set a goal. The steps important to do that. We'll talk about it in health education and kind of in general ways at times, but I'm really think this is an important lesson for you today, because goals are going to be an important part of your life, whether it be in PE, academics, or whatever it is you choose to do. And goals will be an important part of your health and fitness for the rest of your life, which is what's even more important. John Maxwell is a famous author and writes a lot about strategies for leaders in business, and I want to share with you a little bit of a clip, something he shared in one of his Minute of Maxwell talks, talking about the importance of continual growth versus goals only growth. And I think that'll be a great way to introduce our lesson today.
Hi, my name is John Maxwell. Welcome to Minute with Maxwell. I'm going to talk to you about goals because Ann Gail from New York, who's a manager, wanted me to do that. I was sitting at a round table with executives one day, and a person that is highly successful, I could tell, was a little discouraged. And he said, "John, I've hit every goal of my life, and now I basically have lost my motivation and my passion." And I looked at him, I called him by name. I'll say Don, that wasn't his name. I said, "Don, the problem is you've been goal-oriented instead of growth-oriented. You see, if you and I are just goal-oriented, when we hit our goals, it's kind of like Eureka, we've arrived, we celebrate, have a party, but then all of a sudden there's an emptiness, like, okay, I've hit it." But if you're growth-oriented and establish goals within your growth-oriented journey, you'll hit those goals, but you'll look at it and say, "Hey, this is just another step towards my total growth." And I've never known a person who said, "John, I've grown as big as I can ever grow, and I know as much as I can ever know, and so therefore I have nothing to accomplish." You see, if you're goal-oriented, you'll hit your goal and then be a little empty. But if you're growth-oriented, you'll never hit that goal. Just keep growing. It'll be fulfilling, and it is a journey that you will never forget.
Well, as we jump right in, you've got a corresponding worksheet that you're going to use that you'll be matching up the step with the description of what it does. And so these 6 steps in setting healthy goals or goal setting are going to be really important. The first one is to start off by knowing yourself. It's important that goals come from within. Goals corresponding to your interests and your values are always more desirable. You should always try to tie them into, your abilities and think through, who are you? What are you passionate about? What do you believe in? Coaches and teachers, we always try to challenge you and set goals with you and for you, but it's always the best when you've taken a real introspective look at who you are, what you believe in, what you desire to do, and have those generate the goals. Secondly, make it clear and specific, and even more importantly, positive. The more specific and clear you can have that goal be, and the more accurately it describes what you want to do, the better goal. There's nothing worse than having an athlete or a student come in and say, "I want to get stronger," or "I want to do better." What does that mean? By how much? By when? The more specific you can be about that goal, and the more clear you can be that you've thought through what it is you're actually wanting to do, it makes for a stronger goal. And I always challenge you not to forget to be positive with the goal. Goals shouldn't be about what you do not want to do. They should be more about what you're trying to do. Goals for, they need to include deadlines, and that's part of this process too, is to set reasonable time limits. Is this realistic? If your goal is to lose a lot of weight, you're not going to do that overnight. It's going to take time to get there. If your goal is to improve your GPA, that's not going to happen overnight. There's going to have to be smaller steps along the way that are going to help you, but those timelines and those deadlines and those checkpoints along the way are very, very important. So make it specific and add a sense of urgency, but provide a measured way to you to have success. Number 4, seek adult and professional help. Long-term goals should be broken into smaller, more manageable goals, but you also should share that with people. Share with them, what am I wanting to do? What are my goals here? Look to people who have maybe even made that path before you. Talk to them about what are some of the steps they did to be successful. What are some of the roadblocks or challenges they had to overcome. And as you seek adult and professional help with these goals, it's only going to help you to achieve them faster and more effectively. Recognize your limitations as you write down those goals, not to be negative, but write down, here's what I want to do, here are some of the barriers or the obstacles, or here are some of the things that have been getting in my way. Identify those, put them out there, and then don't let those get in the way of what you're doing. Everyone has limitations and challenges. There's always a lot of excuses and things that can creep up. So if you just put those out there and from the beginning, say, here's some of the challenges, here's some of the limitations, and then constantly remind yourself and reinforce why it is you chose that goal. Moving and keep moving forward. Don't let those setbacks get you behind. Many athletes over the years I've seen take little inspirational quotes or goals, and they've posted those in their locker. They've kept those in front of them. They revisit those on a regular basis. They remind themselves almost daily, here's my goal, here's my vision of what I want to do. And then lastly, evaluate how it's going. It's very important with goal setting to take time to stop and ask yourself, am I making progress on the goal? If you're on track with where you need to be, awesome job. If you're a little bit off track, which sometimes happens, how do you get back on track? The importance is not to quit. And as we finish up today, those 6 steps are so important as you think through each one. Don't just throw a goal out of get stronger, get better. What does it look like? Don't be afraid to make it specific and measurable and own it, and seek the help of others and evaluate along the way. All those steps are going to help you in your goal setting process. I want to finish up here with some famous quotes regarding goals. Albert Einstein writes, if you want to be happy in life, tie it to a goal, not to people and things. You know, there really is something that is motivating and something that brings joy in a person's life when they set goals and they're striving towards something. That hope and that effort in moving forward is such an important part of what gives that people the drive to keep moving forward. That shares there in Muhammad Ali's quote of, goals are what have kept me going throughout the year. And then just kind of Yogi Berra in his unique way of providing humor said, if you don't know where you're going, you're going to end up someplace else. And there really is some truth to that. Make sure you know what you want to do, your goals, and that's an important part of not just kind of aimlessly wandering through and just bouncing from thing to thing.